one thing, this one thing will improve all areas of your life rapidly. I have used it. It works. Keep watching. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Juliette Cleary. If you're new here, I'm a manifestation coach helping you to attract your next level life and business. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get into it. This is something that I have talked about before, but I wanted to make a video on it and just really emphasize this one thing, just this one process. This is something that I previously learnt from Abraham Hicks, and I have applied it to my life over and over, and it works every single time. I guarantee you, if you use this and you do it, you commit to it, and you do this wholeheartedly, you will see results. But you need to give it a little bit of time to kick in. That could be like a couple of days. Sometimes for me, that was just a few days and results straight away. Okay, but if it takes a week, that's fine too, all right? We need to be, kind of taking the pressure off with timelines, that's not the word I want to use, but when people put like a timestamp and like, okay, I have to have this thing manifested by this day. Sometimes that can be okay if you're really aligned, but otherwise it holds you back, it adds pressure, it adds resistance, and usually you don't get your manifestation at all. So let's not do that. There is no rush, there is no urgency, all right? And when you feel like there is no rush and you don't really need it, it'll manifest, okay? So let's get into the process. All right, as I said, I got this from Abraham Hicks, something they say quite often, but I don't usually hear too many other people talking about it, and I know it has worked for me, so I wanted to talk about it. Okay, so the process is focus on one good feeling thing, one subject, one area of your life that is working, that feels really good, one good feeling thing, and it will improve every area of your life without you thinking. You're not even thinking about those other areas. Maybe you might get some inspired thoughts about them. Maybe you might take some inspired action, but you don't need to. You don't need to do anything except focus on one good feeling subject. And if you are a fan of Abraham Hicks, you probably would have heard this a few times. And why it's so powerful is that it doesn't matter what you're giving attention to. It doesn't matter the subject at all. But if you are focused on something that is bringing you into your personal alignment, into your personal place of power, then you are in creative control of your life, right? You are in what I like to call the receiving frequency. You're in a high frequency of receiving what you want, of receiving all things that you want on all subjects, in all areas of your life. All you have to do is get on that frequency. And so if you can use anything, any one thing as your excuse to get on that frequency, now you're inspired to the good feeling thoughts or the aligned actions to take, the inspired actions, the $1 million idea, whatever it is, an inspired impulse that leads you to this, then leads you to that, which, gives you an answer to a problem that you've been having for the longest time. So what you need to do is take your energy away from trying to fix problems in your life. You're no longer trying to focus on all different things to make them manifest. And this is really powerful, especially when things are getting like really bad, and you're struggling to get a result, you are struggling to make any progress. And I've used it at times in my life where I've just felt like, okay, there's, everywhere I focus kind of feels, there's some resistance there, there's some doubt there. And if I try to focus on those subjects, I just practice the resistance on those subjects. So I will take time and I'll say, okay, well, what's just one thing? And it could be a few things. Like if you have a couple or a few good areas of your life, or good feeling subjects that you like to think about or do, then choose a few. But you only need to choose one, right? You can just choose one thing. And guys, I would just say it doesn't have to be like, for example, you could have a really amazing relationship and it's pretty much perfection. You know, there's, you know, you got things working on that, in that area of your life. Then that is a good place for you to focus. That, and I want you to just give all your attention, which is giving all your energy to appreciating it, to even like, how can I improve it even more? Because there's no resistance there. So it's just going to be playful. It's just going to be fun and satisfying. Okay, but you're appreciating it. You're giving more of your attention to it and feeling how good it feels. It could be that you have an amazing body or amazing health. Or maybe, you know, you're doing really, really well in your work and you love your work and you are thriving from it. Or, okay, because sometimes we go through periods of our lives where there's kind of problems in every area of our life, like all the main areas. And so it's more difficult to focus on those. And so then what I would suggest is just choose one thing, like a hobby, a passion, an interest. And that's what I do. So I know years ago, I really loved Disney, Star Wars, Harry Potter, I guess, as well. But mostly like Disney and Star Wars, just like, oh, it gets me so excited. I like to read the books. Like I have art books, I have history books, theme park books. I used to watch a lot of vlogs from the theme parks in Florida, just anything, and, you know, creative behind the scenes. Like I really love creative things. So I would focus on that. And I would just spend a lot of my time focused on those things, which you might say, well, that seems like, you know, a waste of time or really trivial. But remember, it doesn't matter about the subject as long as it gets you like feeling really good. Maybe it's a lot of gratitude. Maybe it's excitement. Maybe it's passion. So if there is a hobby or an interest that really, especially if you're creative, creativity is another thing that you could do. And it's something that I also like to focus on is, you know, if you are a musician or you play an instrument, like get really into your music, or you like writing poems or stories. If you love writing, just get really into writing and just put all your attention there. And when you're not doing the action, be thinking about it, thinking about ideas and stories that you could create, you know, be thinking about them in your mind and just allowing that creativity to flow. When you are creative, like when you are using your creativity, you're in alignment. You are in the flow. You are on the receiving frequency. Okay? So yeah, a hobby, an interest, anything. Seriously, anything. You like to sing, focus more on singing, songwriting. You like to dance, take an online class or actually go to a class and focus on learning something. Whatever makes you feel passionate or happy, whatever just, you know, makes you a little bit giddy. Is there anything that makes you giddy or has in the past, just makes you feel a little bit of a spark? Right? Again, this could be an area of your life that's working really well. Just one small little thing. And just, I mean, even if you spend one day and you're giving a lot of attention to this thing, whether it's an action you're taking, but when you're not taking the action as well, I want you to be thinking about it, appreciating it, even imagining it in your mind, something that feels really, really good. You're going to feel the difference after a day. And obviously you're not doing this constantly throughout your day. You're going to be doing other things. But for the most part, do this on a weekend or when you have a day off or a day to yourself so you can really go all in. If you are busy, then take moments to think about that thing, to focus on it, to feel it, feel the emotion. Whatever brings you positive emotion, whatever is the best feeling thing in your life, whether it's really big and wonderful or whether it seems small and trivial, doesn't matter. The universe doesn't care. All that matters is that it is bringing you into alignment. It is making you feel good. And when you feel good, you're feeling like your future self feels about your life in general. And you will start to attract, if you keep doing this, you will start to attract things in other areas of your life. Things will start working. You'll start getting ideas or inspired impulses, actions to take. You'll get possibilities finding you. Things will be magnetized to you, coming to you. There is massive power in this one process, but we tend to overcomplicate everything. And I know because I've done it. And we think it has to be harder. We think we have to give attention to the problems. No, giving attention to the problems keeps reactivating the problems. Of course, you don't want to ignore anything that needs to be seen and acknowledged. You don't want to ignore negative emotions or suppress them or push them away and say no. You want to allow them and welcome them and feel it fully and see what's it telling you. What do you need to heal? What do you need to, why is it coming up? But then, shift your focus towards something that feels better, because if you want to get into the energy of your end result, you can do that without getting on the subject itself. And I know that you know this because I'm sure you've manifested things into your life where you weren't thinking about them. You weren't trying hard anymore. Maybe you forgot about it altogether, or you just didn't really care anymore, right? You know that this works. So give it enough time. Give it a few days. Take 3 days. Take 3 days focusing on one subject. And again, if you want to focus on a couple of really good feeling subjects, perfect. But at least one really good feeling subject that doesn't bring up resistance, that doesn't bring up doubt or limiting beliefs, and just makes you feel light and free and maybe fun. And take it like you're taking a vacation from what you usually run in your mind, what you usually do that holds you back. And this will absolutely seep into every area of your life, because if you're no longer giving that much attention, you're no longer giving a lot of attention to the problems. So you're not keeping them that active as you were previously. Now you're giving more attention to something that makes you feel really, really good. And so now all those subjects, because you're not activating the problem, you're focused on feeling good, they can all rise, they can all improve, they will change and transform, because now you're allowing them to. Everything in your life, every area of your life wants to up-level. Every desire that you want wants you, and will come to you as soon as you let go of giving so much of your energy and attention to things that don't feel good. And I know this from experience. Again and again, sometimes I will overcomplicate it too. And as soon as I bring it back to, okay, it's as simple as finding a subject that feels good and just becoming obsessed with that subject. This feels so good, I want to give all my attention to it. And it might seem unproductive, but it is the most productive thing you can freaking do, because it's going to change everything in your life. And of course, eventually you will be inspired to focus on some of those other areas of your life and take action there and whatever. But now all of that's coming from a high frequency. All of that's coming from your alignment, from your place of power, not your place of lack, right? So try this. Let me know how you go in the comment section below. It's so powerful. Just commit to at least 3 days. Commit and let me know, because I know that you will at least feel different. And if you keep it up, you will see differences in your life. You will see evidence. All right, make sure that you have subscribed if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.